And that's how you make an entrance for Canada Day and the 4th of July. Stephen, welcome. It's Friday again.
It's
Canada
Friday, and you're already blowing stuff up.
And it's wonderful Canada Day.
Yep, it is.
So what exactly is Canada Day? Us Americans, we're not the...
Canada Day is basically the same thing as you guys. It's an Independence Day.
Oh, you kicked the British out too?
Yeah, well, no, they still hung around, right? So we're still part of the monarchy. So, but it's considered a separate country than England, right? So
they kind of kicked them out without a fight?
Without a fight. We're very polite up here, right? So we say sorry a lot, and we're polite. Yeah, why not? So.
Well, happy Canada Day to you, and happy Canada Day to all our Canadians out in the chat. 4th of July is this Monday, so it's a double whammy weekend. Canada Day and 4th of July. It's kind of funny, we're two countries, we border each other, we're very, very friendly with each other. Both took the British, said get out, whatever.
You guys did it. We went war with guns, but hey, same thing.
Well, it's America. We do everything with guns, don't we? I mean, there's guns everywhere in this country.
I don't know. I guess I don't live there. I'm going there in a few weeks, but hey, yeah. So yeah.
Audio issues.
We're having all kinds of problems tonight.
Well, we usually do. So are we having any audio issues? Vera, let me know in the chat right now if you're having some problems with the audio. From my point, it looks okay. But
I had a nice background with my arcade machines. That's gone. Ah, man. And then my connection kept cutting out. So let's work out the bugs a little bit because I think it's going to be a little bumpy road tonight. So
Well,
sadly,
I hope they can hear me because I'm sure my mic is on, but can they hear me?
it's just the one individual said Glenn's having Apex had basically said Glenn having audio issues. Let's see here. And Atari's 50 years old today. Is Glenn's mic on? So I don't know if they hear you. I don't think they hear you. I could hear you, but I don't think our
Sounds like I'm
beautiful
using
community.
That's not using my headset. So let me take a look here and see if headset.
Glenn sounds like it's not using the headset. So you might be on the wrong microphone, Glenn.
Would be the first time.
But I hear you great. So probably that broadcasts out. It's on the wrong mic, I guess. And then my computer kept hanging up, but my phone is holding in there like a champ, it seems.
Yeah, it is on the right microphone. Let me do check. So you talk about Canada.
I talk about Canada. Well, here you're just typical fireworks and everything else, just like the U.S. And we made a nice little background. Or I did a little background of with our nice moose here and honoring both flags and things like that, and having a nice
testing
wood grain background, not wood grain, but tree bark background. So Glenn's trying to fix his mic.
Yep.
So
is this good now, people? Can you hear me better now? Let's see. Taking a poll. Testing 1, 2, 3. Thanks, Pliskin. Pliskin said it's fixed. Yeah, it was on the camera. I don't know why it switched. We have weird problems on this show. I think we have ghosts on this show.
Gremlins.
Thank you, everyone.
It's like gremlins. Typical gremlins, tell you.
I guess
but
so.
I think we're up and running. I hope my battery doesn't die on my phone. It had about 50% battery, so I'm not sure if it's going to last the whole hour. I hope so.
Well, that's good. That means America wins. If Canada falls, America wins. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if this show. So it's, yeah. So anyways, what I asked Glenn earlier in the week, I said, hey, let's talk about some Canadian stuff since today is Canada Day and in 3 days it'll be Independence Day in the US, but maybe some slightly different Canadian things like favorite chocolate bars, candy, what's not available in the States.
There are some differences, aren't there? Because I know you've mentioned some stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll give you an example. Coca-Cola in Canada is made with sugarcane, but in the US apparently it's made with corn syrup.
Yeah, because we in America they just screw us over left and right. We get the cane sugar. Mexico gets real sugar. You get real sugar. We get this high fructose corn syrup.
Just to give you clogged arteries and diabetes, basically.
Pretty much. And there is a difference. And I have.
There is a taste difference because when I go to the U.S. and I have a Coca-Cola, I'm like, this does not taste the same.
Yeah. At one of the stores here, you could buy Mexican Coke. Like they even have like peach Coke, which is delicious. Although, unfortunately, I've had to give up the Coke. I can't have the Coke anymore. But the real sugar one does have a different flavor. But I'm so used to now the high fructose corn syrup. And Wolfenoz, thanks for joining. Wolfenoz is going through a lot of stuff for himself. He's moving. He's getting jobs.
Oh, wow.
Life is always fun, right, Wolfenoz? It's all fun. It's all fun and games till someone loses an eye with these fireworks.
Yeah. Poke your eye out and burn your house down, whatever. Yeah. So basically, what are the other things? You guys don't have what they call Smarties. They're basically a different M&M in a sense. So
I've heard
it's chocolate covered candy. O. Henry. You guys don't have O. Henry bars.
We used to.
Oh, you used to.
I think maybe not in New York, but I know that's still around. O. Henry was around. That one I will say.
What about Mr. Big?
That's the women call me that.
Oh, sure they do. So Mr. Big, not the band, but the chocolate bar. And what else is it? Coffee Crisp. You guys have Coffee Crisp down there? I don't think so.
No, never heard of that one.
It doesn't taste like a cup of coffee. It's just sort of, So it's it's all these different like ketchup flavored chips.
Ketchup flavored chips?
Yeah, that exists in Canada only.
Guy, Green Wolfenoz right here, the 100 grand bar. I love that 100 grand bar. You have that up there?
No.
Ah, there we go.
We don't have what was the other one that I like? It's the one with the peanuts and the sort of peanut butter.
Payday?
Payday, yes.
Paydays are good.
Yeah, I love them. None of that up here at all.
It's kind of weird. You're literally like 5 feet away from us, and
Yeah.
we have such different things here.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know about cereals. We don't have John Riggs on today, but basically there are different cereals completely. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm going down to Florida in a couple weeks, and about 3 weeks from now, and I'm bringing chocolate bars. I was going to do the same thing when I would go visit you, Glenn, if that trip was going to happen. But basically, I was going to bring down some snacks of Canada, you know, so just to see if you would like that stuff or whatever. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing down some Canadian snacks, you know. So, but it's like,
Oh, Shoeshine need you to smuggle some dressed chips.
All dressed chips. So basically, I think what they've done, you guys got salt and vinegar down there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what they did is they take ketchup, salt and vinegar, and barbecue, and I think they just squeezed that all the flavors together and put that on a chip.
Huh.
I think. I'm not sure.
I would like them to take the Dorito powder and just sell that. I don't want the chip.
You can get you know those homemade tacos? You can get like Dorito flavored ones.
Yeah, I just want the powder.
Just the powder.
Just want the powder. I'm going to eat the powder. Just I just want to eat the powder like that. I don't want the chip. Just give me the powder. Give me 10-day-old Taco Bell too. I love 10-day-old Taco Bell.
Intravenous and everything, right? You
just
have it injected directly. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? So it's and they had Jolt Cola back in the day.
Yeah, I never drank that.
That is caffeine out the wazoo.
Yeah,
it's nuts. Like it's worse than a cup of coffee.
All the sugar and twice the caffeine, I guess, was the motto.
It was something like that, and it's insane. So we're not going to do that. So what else is there? Smarties, O. Henry.
Let me ask you this.
Arrow.
No, I got a good one. You must have a McDonald's and Burger King place.
Yep.
Is there different stuff there? Is it like a special, I don't know, Canadian hamburger with like, I don't know, Canadian bacon on it or something?
Well, there's poutine at McDonald's, or there was. I don't know if there still is, but there was poutine. You know, the gravy and the cheese on top of the fries.
Yes.
Yeah, they had that at McDonald's. And what you guys have down there that we don't have is, like, we have bacon and egg McMuffins.
Yes, we have bacon and egg McMuffins.
Yeah, but you guys have the bacon and egg McBiscuit too.
Oh yeah, McGriddles. The McGriddles is where it's at.
Yeah, we don't have those.
And say in the chat if you had a McGriddles are where it's at.
So it's a biscuit instead of the McMuffin, the English muffin, right?
Yes.
Is that the difference? Okay, so basically we don't have that here. We had them, I think, for a little while. I don't know if they just didn't sell, or I have no idea. And A&W is mostly up here, yes. So
we used to have A&W's around here, but I think it kind of phased out. RC Cola used to be big, and then I don't know what happened to that. Tab.
I think A&W was a Canadian company. It still is a Canadian company.
That's what Shoeshine's saying. There. That's what Shoeshine just said. That A&W is mostly a Canadian company now.
I think it is, and I don't know if it was always the case. I know that you guys have Tim Hortons down there. Some places, I don't know where exactly in the U.S. there are Tim Hortons, but we have this. Nooner basically says there in Washington State there's an A&W there. So I don't know if it's mostly a Canadian thing or not for A&W, but we have an A&W here. Where is it again? Oh, it's up by the hill, by the Shoppers Drug Mart. So basically we have like a Shoppers. It's a drugstore open all the time. What else is there? So I know that some of the
let me ask you another question. This is a serious question. When movies get released here into Canada,
yep,
do they have to put subtitles?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
You know what though? What's interesting is I didn't notice this till a few years ago. When they translate a movie, so they dub it in, because in Canada the two official languages is French and English, right?
Right. One good language, one not so good.
Well, what I didn't realize is that they make a French Canadian version and a French France version. So there's two different sets of actors speaking.
Okay.
So it's like, whoa, okay. I didn't realize that. So the accent's different, the lingo and the I guess the slang. It's basically the slang. So the French from France slang is very different than the Quebec slang. So if you
See-
say one thing in Quebec, it means something different in
Different.
France.
See, Wolf and Oz is saying something that we have to concede. No bacon's better than Canadian bacon. I agree. Canadian bacon is the bomb.
Oh yeah, exactly. So what is it? Poutine. You have to have really good poutine. It's like poutine. You have to have the right gravy, the right fries, and the right cheese, especially. You can't just put mozzarella.
Wait, that's poutine, not poutang.
Yeah, that's right. Not poontang. No.
Okay, I'm sure.
Sure.
I'm not wearing my glasses, so I'm just trying to see what Nooner's right. His name is Nooner. I'm thinking, all right, he's putting something here. I don't know.
But if you ever get the chance to go across the border and get yourself a poutine, Glenn, for the first time, I think you'll.
When I was 16, I was all over that.
Yeah, but if it's made properly with the right cheese, the right gravy,
I don't know.
I
think it was Irish Italian. She was.
Oh, is that what her name was? Poutine?
Yeah.
We're not talking about that kind of thing. But sure, if you want to talk about that tonight, hey, I'm open.
All right, Wolf and I are saying poutine is beef gravy, crinkle fries, and cheese curds. Is that correct?
Yeah. The crinkle fries is optional. I've seen, as long as the fries are good. So the other thing I want to talk about, other than the food, is the music that came out of Canada. Like the bands that you guys ate up, in a sense.
Well, yeah, you guys between music and actors, you like flooded it. It's worse than Mexico coming over the border. You guys just coming down here taking our jobs.
Got nothing on
took
us.
our jobs.
Yeah, Mexico's got nothing with Canadians. It's like, I mean, when you take a band like, let's see, Honeymoon Suite, April Wine, Loverboy, and we're talking old school here, it's great. And did you guys have Corey Hart down there?
Oh, yeah.
Alanis Morissette.
Yes. Yep.
Alanis Morissette, she's from Ottawa. And she started off as a pop singer and then essentially, went crazy a little bit in a good way and released her album Jagged Little Pill and dominated everything. It was kind of weird. So it was weird because I was DJing at the time and people wanted to hear her pop album. And she had some hits, and then she released Jagged Little Pill.
Do you have any Cracker Barrels in Canada?
No.
Oh, missing out.
At least not where I live. If there's some out west or whatever. But Bryan Adams, great singer.
Back in '69.
The summer of '69.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's the music is pretty intense, and there's a lot of people that didn't realize some of the bands that were Canadian. A lot of people that I spoke with, they were like, Loverboy, they're Canadian, and I'm like, oh yeah, and all these different bands, so it's great.
Did you have Pop Rocks in Canada?
Yes.
Yeah, those are good, delicious, and deadly. Apparently,
explosions in your mouth. Basically, we had, what else did we have up here that
William Shatner's from Canada? Apparently, I'll be saying he's William Shatner.
He is, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing. Ryan Reynolds is Canadian.
Why? Whoa. Why is that embarrassing?
Captain's log started. Rounded off to the nearest decimal.
Of course. He's got those facial expressions.
Yeah, he I don't know. I'm not a Shatner fan. I like him as Captain Kirk, but everywhere else in the world, I don't know.
He was good in Twilight Zone. He had a couple of Twilight Zone episodes.
Oh yeah, can't forget about Rush. Geddy Lee and Rush. Great band.
Is Nickelback Canadian?
It is, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Nickelback. Yeah. So, see, you're being enlightened today, Glenn.
I live a very sheltered. In America, we live a very sheltered life.
You got to put the guns away and listen to Canadian music. That's it.
Those are fighting words now. Those are fighting words.
You got to do that. And what's it? Guaranteed they have. Oh yeah, they have black licorice. It probably stays in the bottom of the bowl.
Black licorice is the best. I love black licorice.
I'm not a fan. I don't hate it, but but at the end of Paul was saying the Canadian dollar and U.S. dollar, or Canadian dollar sucks.
Yeah, it does. And in talking to like nostalgia, it might be the Game Genie. What you pay for houses up there is insane.
Well, I live in a more rural area, so houses aren't that out of control. But our dollar, like I was telling you earlier, Glenn, before the show started, I bought Disney tickets because we're going to Florida.
Right.
$1,080 US was $1,400 Canadian. So it's a shit conversion. It's pretty bad.
It is, but I mean, at least you do get your healthcare is all included, right? That's all part of your thing right there.
Yeah, if we're sick, whatever, show up at the hospital. They take care of you. You don't have to pay anything.
Here, it's almost the same. You go to the hospital, they take all your stuff, and then you're left homeless.
They take all your stuff
in the States. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Trailer Park Boys for sure. Finger 11 for sure. There's a lot of, it's pretty cool. So we have a lot of Canadian nickels here in Florida. I don't know what that means.
I hate when that happens. You know what? I should send you a change. I go to the store, they give me like Canadian nickels and dimes. What am I gonna do with that?
Oh, okay. So it's the beaver. You guys got the beaver money there.
It's like you stole my 5 cents. You stole my 10 cents. It's
well,
Canadian.
I think it's because of all the retiring baby boomers that go down there, and in Florida, it's got to be all of them. It's it's pretty bad. So yeah, toonies and loonies. I was told by my friend that to bring some for his wife, so I've got to bring those when I go down to Florida. So
I'm going to bring something up here. You going to get something like this?
Dragon's Lair?
We got the arcade one-up Dragon's Lair.
Nope, don't want it.
$649 US. So that would probably be
Canadian.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty expensive. I mean, I have to admit though, I think they end up doing a nice job.
Like the cabinet looks good. It's not like a crappy job. It's just expensive. It's simple as that. It's that bad. Like for me, it looks like authentic. Really, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't go that far, but I do like that they did put in the proper LEDs instead of the cell phone they were going to use originally.
Well, the marquee at the top is actually not octagonal, but like a stop sign thing.
Yep.
It almost
here it is.
Yeah,
you did it the right way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They did that properly. They didn't leave that out, which is good. Would I get it? No. I just think arcade one-up cabinets are built cheap, so I just don't bother.
Well, they are, but I will say there's certain ones that I think they do a really nice job. Star Wars, I think they did a really nice job. Tron, aside from the joystick that breaks every 5 seconds, did a nice job. The Dragon's Lair, I think, did a nice job. I think, it's kind of hit and miss. Now, again, this is not one of those games.
It's just out of my price range, dude, for one game. Or is it going to have Space Ace or Dragon's Lair 2 with it? Or
I believe this has Dragon's Lair 1, Dragon's Lair 2, and Space Ace on here. And then they're going to offer potentially through their website getting the Space Ace cabinet, and it'll have the same games on it though. It wouldn't have anything.
Did the Space Ace cabinet look exactly the same as Dragon's Lair?
Originally, no. Excuse me.
But then there was probably conversion kits. Probably
they had the Cinematronics cabinet, which looked very different, and New Wave Toys is offering that. You could buy the limited edition one, but then there was the conversion kit for Dragon's Lair, and that's the one I had always played. So I'm going to ask in the chat. Is this something you guys would want to get? If I can find my chat over here, do a poll, and see if people do you want the Dragon's Lair from Arcade One? If you think it's a good cabinet. Let's see what people have to say about that. Let's ask the community, because that's where our show is driven. It's driven. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Let's get my poll out of here. Go back to over here. There we go. And pull it off screen. So, do you people want the Dragon's Lair? I mean, it's a nice looking cabinet. I mean, but it's one of those games, again, it's more a showpiece. You have kind of playing in the background versus actually playing. Once you play it once, you can show your friends, show it off. But what's kind of cool about the Space Ace one from New Wave Toys coming out, they're going to offer the secondary display you can put on the top. I don't know if you remember in the arcades.
Yeah, there was
a
the TV sitting on top.
Right.
Yeah. That was just playing the Laserdisc information, right?
Right. So that's $649. That is shipping. And apparently, everyone who's gotten the Dragon's Lair so far have said the packaging. I saw the packaging. The box came in very nice. So I think they stepped up their game a little bit. I think this is one of those titles where they're kind of showing some quality and improvements. We'll have to see how long they last, especially that back board.
The poll's not looking too good, by the way.
Yeah, right now it's not.
There's only 17 votes there, but yeah.
Right. But if this, I like Dragon's Lair as a showpiece.
That's all it is.
It is. Really. But I think it's a nice looking cabinet.
It's one of their better looking ones for sure.
It is, and I think at $649, they still pushing the envelope of how much it should be. But again, speaking from experience with trying to get my stuff out there, prices are definitely up, especially shipping. And these things are very heavy. So I wouldn't be surprised if John D and Scott had to raise the price more so than anything is just shipping costs on these things.
Yeah. But $649 though.
It is. Now, if you don't have that kind of money to spend, there are some other things you could buy. Over at New Wave Toys, Q*bert is available. And unfortunately,
that just came out, right?
That just came out. I just did my review of my Q*bert. And, the price has gone up a little bit, and people probably beat me up on it because I'm like, man, these are so cheap. They should raise the price. So before you would have gotten this for like $119. So it's gone up about $30. But I could definitely tell you, that's a very minimal price increase with the price increases and shipping costs and everything. And it's a really nice little cabinet. Excuse me.
I understand that those are built very well.
There's been only like the Tempest. There was a couple of quirky things on it because with a spinner. It just doesn't free spin. It's a clicky one. That was one problem I had. It was a clicky dial. But they tried to make it so when you turned it, the software would continue to spin around to give you that effect. But it actually made the gameplay really bad, but they fixed that. And then with the Asteroid, same thing. When you have the shots, they tried to mimic that effect of the trail of the vector display. So stupid things like that they were able to fix.
It's a vector monitor on that, right?
It's not. It's just an LCD. On the Asteroids it is, and Tempest it is.
Yeah.
So they were able to fix that in software. So the attention to detail is very good. Now, there's also Numbskull. Numbskull makes bigger units than this, and those are like almost like 1-to-1 copies, the Numbskull. New Wave Toys are maybe like 90%. But then they do kind of other cool things you wouldn't have had in the original machine that they kind of do, like little extra touches. Mm-hmm. So that's why I really enjoy them. I mean, unless you are a true nut job with these, you would never know that these were not like 100% authentic, but they are authentic enough. And Q*bert's is one of those games that really just play well. I think New Wave Toys did a good job. I do think at $159, it's still reasonable. For what you get. And especially the packaging. If you look at the box here, you got the Q*bert that goes in a colored box, and that box goes in the cardboard box there, and they ship that in yet another box to make sure when it comes to you, it is safe.
I saw that on your video that it was double packaged in a sense.
Right. And so they really do care that you get what you paid for.
Have they done that from the beginning, Glenn?
They did.
Gotcha.
They've gotten better with like making the brown box here look, still nice and everything like that. But they really put those little extra touches in there. And, there's been some machines like everything. There's some machines that came, that didn't work right or something was wrong with it. They took it back, no questions asked. They took care of their people. So kudos. I'm going to get Shiloh from New Wave Toys on again because the next thing coming out is Missile Command. And that's one of my staple games
really
that I
cool
absolutely
game. I like that.
That is. I love Missile Command.
I got a question for you, Glenn.
Yes.
This is a layman's, don't know much about this company question. So what games did they come up with? I know they came out with, I think, Pac-Man at the beginning.
No,
right?
That was
that's another company.
That was Numbskull. Numbskull's done Pac-Man,
right.
Galaga, Dig Dug.
But they look similar, or are they smaller, bigger, or what's
They're bigger. The Numbskull are probably about 30% larger. They're
gotcha.
They're 1/4 scale, where these are 1/6 scale. The New Wave Toys. We got a super chat here from Paul Beres. Never heard anyone complain or say they were disappointed in the New Wave Toys collectible arcade cabinets. I have. Of course, I have the Facebook group. I have all the Facebook groups. And there's been some people who complained there were certain things, but they were valid. The decals were not on right. I actually did have one. Actually, was my the last one I got, my 1943. The plexiglass over the screen came off. It's like a double tape that holds it on. I received it like one of the coldest days of the year. So when I opened up the box, it just kind of fell off.
Oh wow!
And they said, send it back. We sent you a new one, and they did. So Paul, I appreciate the super chat, buddy. I really do. Thank you so much. But New Wave Toys has done some really good ones. Like he's saying, Street Fighter came out. So the first one was Centipede. That was their Kickstarter. That's the first one that
the very first one they did. Okay.
Then it was Tempest, Asteroids. They did obviously Q*bert, Street Fighter. 1942, 1943. If I'm missing anyone, please tell me in the chat.
So they have a few. It's not just
no. Missile Command's coming out next. They have other machines coming down the pipeline. They also did a small coin. Put your dollar in to get your coins to play the games. One of those coin machines. Mm-hmm. They did one of those, but it's a battery bank. So you can plug in 5 devices into that coin thing to, charge up your devices. They did the radio, the M90 radio. They did
the M90,
Walkmans.
the little ghetto blaster that I messaged you about and said, hey,
Right.
that looks really cool.
Okay, so I'm going to post this from Shoeshine. He said, my only disappointment with New Wave toys is I wish you could set them and turn them on off. What's that? When you can set them to turn them on off when plugged in, so I can turn them right. So he wants to be able to just like turn on a power strip, have them all turn on and turn off. And I get that for display purposes, like the Super Impulse tiny arcades or small keychain ones. We were hacking those. No problem. We were hacking those to stay on because there was a timeout to put them on your Christmas tree. You were hanging them on there, but there's like I think a 30-second timeout. So a couple of my friends, Charles Tweedy, I think, is a friend of mine who does Vectrex mods. I think he came up with a resistor that would put just enough signal on there to trick the timing circuit to stay online. But thank you, Shoeshine, for the chat there. And I can never say this right. Maybe you can say it right. They came out with this as well, the Numbskull. Polybius?
Polybius.
Yes, the game that,
The game that was supposedly out and would make you do weird stuff or something,
yes.
And it was like an urban legend thing. And
little did I know we do weird stuff anyway.
Yeah, you don't need the machine.
Didn't matter. We got another super chat from my buddy Wolfenoz. Wolfenoz, man, you got to save your money. You got to get a house. New Wave Toys needs to make a gauntlet cab. Well,
player on a little tiny thing.
I will say, Wolfenoz, first of all, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I really do appreciate it. Numbskull is not done by a long shot. That would be a nice game. I want to see Frenzy and Berserk. I love those games. I know they're simple games, not a lot to them, but I
love and Crazy Climber too, right?
I would love Crazy Climber. I built one. I actually took a basic fun unit. I think it was their Defender, and I made a second joystick, and I made a Crazy Climber Robotron out of it. If anyone goes to my channel, you'll find it in there. Of course, it's with a Raspberry Pi. But Space Fury, Rally X, Scramble.
The list goes on and on. We could be here all night listing crazy games. It's
that's the thing. They're starting to go to
the limit.
They're starting to go to these newer. Say, we need more powerful hardware to get these newer games out there. There's still so many classics they haven't even touched yet, and
it might be stuck in licensing too, right? That could be another issue.
I mean, that could be. I mean, we all know if Donkey Kong came out, they couldn't make enough if they came out with a Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah, they'd be printing money though for Nintendo for sure.
Oh, we got another super chat from Hobby Hands, buddy. Thank you, man. I don't think I could bear modding my Vectrex. I'm gonna say, I have two because it's me. They're in bags. I have 2 Vectrexes. I have one that I left completely stock, and one I put in the no hum or hiss or buzz mod from Charles Tweedy. Wasn't very difficult.
Heard about that thing. I don't have a Vectrex, but I heard about that mod.
So, Hobby Hands, I do want to thank you for the super chat. And, in a Vectrex, you are inside a machine with a CRT display that potentially could kill you. If you got too close to the charged display there. But the fact that I have 2, I took COVID
Twice
test.
The electrocution.
Yeah, I took COVID test. I'm COVID free. I just have allergies. Since I had 2 Vectrexes, I want to see what one would be like without the buzz, and it actually really does improve the gameplay. It's really amazing for 1982 that the Vectrex came out with the display in there and a really good sound chip in there that gets taken away from with the buzzing in there. But Hobby Hands, thank you for the chat.
Hey, a quick question, Glenn. Are we still doing the donation from the super chat?
No, that ended yesterday. That ended yesterday. So I'm
just making sure the community knows that. How much did we get? Did you tally that up yet?
I'm sending. I'm going to send it to him outside of that. It's $200. We're going to send over to him for that. But I didn't want to do it through that because I think I can get it to him and get more money to him versus them taking a cut of it. So I'm going to send it out separately. Yeah. So we should thank everyone here. Thank you for reminding me.
Give yourself a pat on the back for helping out a person in need. And, we try to do that on this show when we can. So that's great. It's awesome.
Right. It's a community show. This is not our show. This is your guys' show. We're just talking.
We don't make no money. In the end, Glenn and I didn't start this to make millions of dollars and retire. It'd be cool if we did, but it ain't happening. So,
well, speaking, Rosinski put something here that he said he wished he could remap my spinner to the thruster on the Arcade 1-Up Lunar Lander. I was talking to my team, and they may come out still. I want to make that. I want to make that throttle because it could be used in Lunar Lander and other things as well. So that's something, one of my pet projects that maybe a while before it comes out. We have some. I have so
What
many
is it,
things.
like a thruster type
Yeah,
of?
if you ever see the old Atari Lunar Lander, you
I
had
don't remember actually.
you had your your two buttons for pivoting a shift left and right. You actually had a throttle, like a large metal throttle that you would go forward and backward to engage the engine, how much thrust you wanted to give.
Gotcha.
So arcade, what would be nice if arcade one up had done that, we could have turned your spinner for your thrust. Right now, you just press a button and it gives full thrust. You got to kind of tap it.
Oh, gotcha.
But who
It's
knows?
not like a analog type of
No, it's
control
not.
or whatever. It's on or off kind of thing.
Oh,
That's
this is a
no fun.
sad day. These old machines are repairable. Definitely do not get rid of it.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
sure,
throw that out.
I'm sure we can find someone to get that working for you. Maybe send me an email on what's wrong with it. Maybe we can help you out. Vectrex is definitely one of the machines I absolutely love, and I think it's very underrated. It just came out literally like 6 months for the gaming crash. That was the only thing that really killed it. They were going to make a portable Vectrex. The Vectrex was kind of portable, but they were actually going to make a portable Vectrex.
Like
It
a
was actually-
handheld kind of thing?
Kind of, and then they actually had a color prototype using
Wow.
the Tempest, a color vector monitor. But of course, the gaming crash happened, and that never happened. And the General Consumer Electronics, who created it, actually released it to the community. It's a community. I think I was going to actually try and make a Vectrex Mini. I don't think I could do that. I think he doesn't want that to happen, but the games are free to distribute, at least. But I'm trying to get a hold of him.
All of them?
All the they are.
The original ones.
Yep. But I'm
interesting.
trying to reach out to him to see if I can get at least. I would love to make a GRS like a Vectrex Mini. I would love to do that with like a little screen in there. It won't be a vector monitor, but maybe we can make it kind of look like that.
Yeah.
And I want to say to people in the chat, 'cause I have a lot of good people there in the chat. What's up, Chris? If anyone has a contact with the MAME dev team, I've been trying to get hold of the main dev team for quite some time. I have a lot of controllers coming out and some stuff that's very specific that I would like MAME to have better support for. Because like one thing, Frontline, they're not using a spinner for turning. They use a joystick for turning.
And the shoot also, you tap.
Yeah, it's not map right. So, Chris, thank you very much. Happy Friday. If anyone has any contacts at all, I've reached out to them a number of times. I went to their, the MAME dev group, and I posted, listen, I'll send you some stuff. I just want to make sure that my products are working the best they can work with MAME. But I haven't heard from anyone back. It's been like a year and a half. So, if anyone does know anyone over there, I'd appreciate, even if it's just a lead of someone who may talk to me.
You might have to go to an initiation or something, and
right.
They torture you for an hour, and then you can talk to them.
And some other sad news. I can't say where I got the information from, but it does look like the Intellivision Amico might be
dead.
I mean, completely dead. I can't give my source out there, but that sucks because I would have actually gotten it just for. It's like a Wii, and unlike the Atari VCS, I actually thought there was some value in the Amico. It had some promise, but it looks like, sadly, like the Coleco Chameleon, it did not make it.
It's sad, eh? These things don't take off. They have a hard time taking off. They must be huge investments, I guess.
Right.
But I'm in the same boat as you. I was looking at it for my wife and I to play games together because it's a simpler controller. It doesn't have, it's not an Xbox controller or PS4, PS5 controller. At least,
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I said, don't tell Turbo Joe. I really hope it's not, but it's a pretty close source to the project.
Oh, wow.
So I have a funny feeling that it is, again, things can always change, money can come in, but.
Well, since you're Italian, give it the old, type of cross thing.
Right.
The kiss of death or whatever.
Yeah, Paul, I don't think people are surprised at this point. It's just sad because they made it so far. And it was such a high-profile product where the Atari VCS, I think, was more of a bait-switch bullshit product that they said, we better put something out there at all before people come with pitchforks. And they threw something out there really subpar. I mean, it's nice looking, but I'm being honest. I'm a huge Atari fanboy. You guys know that. And I think the Atari VCS was really a shyster product that got pushed out to market. It wasn't a very good product, in my opinion.
I just saw the nostalgia sucker thing going on there, meaning they're just taking advantage of people's nostalgia, especially with that machine. in my opinion.
Well,
You
that's,
know,
I mean, you would
it's too
possibly,
bad because
possibly, but I mean, you know, from the Clico Chameleon, that doesn't go well in the community. If they find out that's what it is, there'll be
oh yeah,
pitchforks and everything else
that's
out there.
right, torches and pitchforks for sure. It's too bad that these ideas, they take so much financial commitment
It
to
really
actually make
is,
happen.
doesn't it? It's amazing. I still, when I was growing up, you know, when I was a kid back in like the 70s and 80s, plastic injection molding, I was always told was like, you know, and this is in the 70s, 80s, was like $50,000. That's in that kind of money.
Oh yeah,
So you figure in 2020, plastic molding would be, you know, $50. Because like a PCB way, you can go PCB way for like $5 and make you a PCB. You're done.
yeah.
It still costs you $20,000 to $50,000 for plastic molding. Still.
Yeah, it's a big process. I don't know if you've ever YouTube that, but it's a heavy duty process. It's involving a lot of stuff, and it's precision and everything else. My brother's a machinist, and he has a friend. That's what he does, injection molds, and it's expensive. It's crazy expensive.
Nooner,
insane.
I hope so. I know Arcade One Up has really locked up Atari in so many different licenses from them, but I think the iArcade would definitely benefit from those recharge games more so than Arcade One Up would. So fingers crossed on that one. And my understanding, I saw a message from Zhang today that their gold machines are on the boat, ready to be shipped over maybe 2 or 3 weeks. They'll get into the
Oh, wow.
States. So maybe some people start receiving theirs. I will say that my team has been working very closely with iArcade for our controls, working in the gold, but also in the legacy machine. So we won't be, I don't think we'll be ready by the time of launch day. I don't think John Give wants us doing anything for launch day or that time. But probably towards the end of the summer, we should have controls that work for some games that they are coming out with down the road.
You know what I'm curious is this, to go back to this Amico,
Yes.
all those games that are being developed for that, I wonder if they're going to end up on Steam or on another platform, or or
Well,
I don't know if
isn't
iArcade-
Recharged on Steam now?
I don't know. Is Recharge just a game that was supposed to hit the Amico? Is that what it is? I don't
Well,
know that game.
Recharge is like Asteroids Recharged, Tempest Recharged, Centipede Recharged,
Oh, gotcha. Like
Missile Command Recharged,
Gotcha.
those type of games.
Gotcha. I didn't see that, but sure, I didn't look. But the one I was looking forward to playing was Moon Patrol.
Moon Patrol Recharged was a good game.
They should make a Moon Patrol New Wave toys. That's what I think. That would go over pretty good.
Okay,
Two
putting
buttons.
a new poll out there. Are you guys sad about the Amico? That's what they say about that.
Our polls are going to look kind of sad tonight.
Yeah,
Those type of
we're
questions.
going down pretty bad. As far as Paul goes, yeah, the VCS. What did I get the wrong one here? Where did it go? Here we go.
I'm not sad.
The VCS turned out just to be a low end AMD Linux box. I mean, it's got a nice case, but that's really not what it should have been. It should have been much more powerful than it was. It was like a Nintendo Wii class of a machine. So
I think in the end, you need to jump into this game. We'll call it, no pun intended. Is you need a custom chipset. Like Microsoft has their custom chips in there, and Sony has their custom chips, and having just everything built on an Android platform, they're a dime a dozen. Sure, they're cheap,
right?
But there's nothing unique about them. That's the problem. There's nothing unique that draws out. Even Nintendo will make custom chips, and I think to stand out, you'd probably need to have your own architecture than just
back in the
getting
day,
some Android thing.
Back in the day, custom chips was what you did. Every Atari, Commodore, Timex Sinclair,
Yeah, exactly.
you all had to make your custom chips, and that was your staple. But the problem was the industry was so new, people would just clone the chips, and Atari started suing people after a while. But the law was just so wishy-washy; they didn't really care, and it's very different now than it was then. I mean, look at ColecoVision. They basically pirated the VCS as an expansion module, and they were selling it, and Atari sued them.
They settled on a court, apparently, though.
Yep, they had them because the TIA chip that was still cloned, but it was still illegally cloned. So they had them on that. So they just paid them a royalty to continue it. And then Intellivision goes, I think they did release it for the Intellivision 2, an Atari 2600 compatible, device. But here nor there. Those are the old days.
Yeah, for sure. So it says the games are recharged on Steam right now. So
I thought they were.
Yeah,
and they look pretty fun. They do look pretty.
Some
fun.
of them looked really good.
Gravatar
mean,
looked really. Gravatar Recharge looked
Was
really
it
fun.
Astro Smash? They redid Astro Smash. That looked pretty nice.
I think that was for the Amico, not a Recharge. As far
No,
as,
but the Amico. That's what I'm wondering. And on the Amico, what are they going to do with all those games like Astro Smash? And they're almost programmed and done. You know what I mean?
Right.
You might as well get them out there and get some money out of it. You know, that's what I think.
And I agree with you. I completely agree with you.
Get some recoup. You know,
how are we doing on this poll? Let's see.
18 volts. Here we go. What do we got? No.
No.
Big fat no. I'm not sad.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Paul again.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so basically I wasn't on the other show
and
where
that was,
the final thoughts were.
That was completely, I'm gonna say it right now, completely my fault. I completely screwed the pooch and never got Steven on there. That was completely my fault. I had a long, bad week, a long day. And I
already grilled him for it.
He did, so. And he was completely within the right because I screwed that. So Paul, thanks for $5 for getting me to be.
We got $5 out of it, and you better send me that $5.
So yeah, so why don't you give your thoughts since I completely screwed you over on the Rexer show.
Okay, so I did watch the final episode, and my prediction was right that the girl would turn in a sense of being good, right? Remember I called that one? And I really liked the battle between Obi-Wan and Vader. I thought that was really cool with the rocks flying. If you guys haven't watched it, too bad. We're spoiling it. I really liked the whole thing. I found the little ending with Qui-Gon a little weird. Like, it was just sort of, hey, we're throwing that in there for a few seconds and that's the end of it. You know, I don't know what you think, Glenn, but
well, for me,
I'm just like, okay.
To me, it's the same as 7, 8, 9. It doesn't exist to me. I did like the scene.
Okay,
I like the fight scenes as if it was like a fan fight scene.
Yeah.
I take it as that. But the whole thing didn't make sense. We have Kongs, man. Good post of Kongs. Thanks for joining.
It was cool. It was just kind of weird, just thrown at the end.
It can't be canon. This entire series can't be canon because if it's canon, they effed up so much in there.
I don't
and
know.
real quick,
I think you can make it
sorry,
work,
Steve, real quick.
But...
Kongs is going to be doing I think it's next week. Kong, put it down in the chat here. For Arcade One Up, they're doing a charity next week. So Kongs, just put it in the chat here if you wouldn't mind what you're doing with the charity for Arcade One Up. I'm sorry, Steven, go right ahead.
So I was going to ask, how is it's going to affect the canon timeline, if you will? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, here's the thing. This was I had a couple of big beefs. One was kind of not so big, but when he was standing over Obi-Wan over the pit, he should have just said, "I have the high ground." That would have been like
that would have been fun.
That would have been like a crown jewel for me on Obi-Wan. Now I have the high ground and got him, and he buried him right.
Yeah.
When he got out of being buried, he should have took off and got away. That would have shown that Vader was too powerful for him, which he should have been. That would have made Vader in Episode 4 go, "I felt something. A presence I've not felt since." Like he would have thought he killed him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The fact he went back, beat him, and then stole from Rebels. The mask being cut open, him saying
That's
Anakin.
Right.
That pissed me off to no end. It's like you can't even come up with your own stuff. You ripped off something
I know.
Now, if people are watching it chronologically, now it makes Rebels look like it ripped off from Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that pissed me off big time.
Vader gets a new helmet left over from the Amico mold.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah, that's actually excellent.
I thought it was pretty funny.
So that got me, and then the fact that Obi-Wan saw Vader murder like a kid, pulled him out of a window, broke his neck, killed his father. He was killing people left and right. Did he let him live again? I do what I must and let him go again.
What was weird is what I thought through the whole thing was it was almost like Obi-Wan's the best Jedi ever. It seems they gave off that impression where.
And he
handed
supposed
Vader
to be.
his ass, basically, right?
From the Force perspective, it's well known he's average to below average as a Force user. He's skilled because he trains hard. But with the Force, he's not as connected.
He's not powerful like Vader would be.
Not picking up like all the rocks he picked up, which is a total Rey scene. I saw that. I'm like, mother effer, that's Rey. And no.
Yeah, I agree.
No.
I just thought that they made him yeah, I know that the ending, he kicked his ass, and I get it, but is he that powerful? And he held them off. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just kept, he held them off, and I'm like, okay, he was 10 years and he could barely lift a rock.
Right.
And now he's flinging rocks like he's just back, and it's a big comeback.
And
Cheery.
Vader was in his prime, and Obi-Wan, like you said, couldn't lift, could barely hold.
Yeah, that's right.
Pick
I
anything
found
up.
it kind of weird, you know. And did I hate the series? No. Did I love it? No. Am I gonna watch it again? Maybe one more time, and that's about it. Like,
I won't.
to just sort of absorb the story a bit better.
I
But
won't.
I don't love it. I prefer the Mandalorian the most out of these series, to be honest. I think they paint the picture properly. You know what I mean? Like,
Your Schwartz is as big as mine.
oh yeah, gotta love that Spaceballs. But you know what though? Like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I prefer.
It didn't have to be.
I'll be honest with you.
It just
dude.
was. It didn't have to be. It didn't
I'll
have to be.
honest. I prefer this over Book of Boba Fett
Mm.
if I were to choose. But do I love it much more? No.
Have you ever heard of
Is it a
Thor
landslide thing?
Skywalker?
No.
Have you ever heard of
Pardon
Thor Skywalker? He's got a YouTube channel, Thor Skywalker. All right.
No, I haven't.
So anyone in the chat, if you haven't heard of Thor Skywalker, take a look. He does these videos about Star Wars and things like this. He does a poll, and the Book of Boba Fett is now above Obi-Wan as far as what people say is better.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yep. So just something to consider. I
Oh, by the way, I got 10% left on my phone.
okay.
So
We're
if
almost
I
done.
suddenly, no, but if I suddenly die, I'll call you back on my PC because it did an update. Maybe that way I was cutting out.
Gotcha. And I want to say something. I want to say something here. First of all, Jen said she liked it, so we might have a problem. We might have a
It
problem
wasn't
going
terrible.
forward.
It just wasn't amazing like I thought it would be. You know what I mean? That's
again,
the problem.
you took the two arguably biggest characters in Star Wars,
Yeah.
Vader and Obi-Wan, right? Really did. So you had everyone's attention, and I thought the story was a mess. I thought the third sister in there was a mess, that she lived.
Oh, I didn't like
Now,
that
the
part.
original story, she did die. The original story, she went to the good side. She said she killed Obi-Wan, and Vader then killed her because he was mine and he killed her. That would have been even better than what we got. We got.
Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to accomplish. Like, don't get me wrong, but like I think Rexer mentioned it in the last time where the third sister was interrogating Leia,
Right.
a little
10-year-old.
kid.
Yep.
And you're like, how did this even happen? Don't get me wrong, maybe on those planets they don't give a shit about 10-year-olds, but if you're showing a Earth audience, they have a problem with that, And that I agree with. It was like, it didn't make sense. Like an adult intimidating a little girl. It just, I think I would have made Leia a little older instead of that young. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion, to move them from toddlers to, you know what I mean?
Well,
a little more.
again, like I said, it did have its moments. I'm not going to lie. There were some moments in there that I
there's
liked.
some good
It was
moments.
great seeing Vader. It was great hearing James Earl Jones, who I still have not seen. The guy lives like 5 minutes from me. Still not seen this guy. It was great hearing his voice again. But overall, the series for me was just a disappointment because it broke so many parts of canon. The Leia thing. It just, again, I have no problem with Leia. Don't take away that I have a problem with Leia. I don't. I have a problem with a 10-year-old acting like she's 50 years old and running like a 3-year-old. I just have a problem with that. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, they really, I think Disney tend to push the imagination of little kids really, I think, too far, where it's so unrealistic that Leia would go fix a bunch of wiring, in that one episode where she was stuck up there and she was fixing. No engineers around.
Right.
Leia's going to fix it or whatever. And I thought, and I'm sitting there going, really? Like, yeah, it just didn't make sense. Don't get me wrong. You should empower your children. And I get all that. But I think that there has to be some realistic stuff here. It's Kathleen Kennedy in child form. Burn it. That's funny. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think they should make the children, like, like Ray being that good right off the bat. I
Oh.
had a problem with that, that sort of thing.
Real quick here. Pliskin Run asked, I want to know who Vader's dad is. It's almost canon. I'm not sure if it completely is canon, but it's really
Qui-Gon or something.
no,
eh?
Palpatine. He used the
Oh, really?
midichlorians to create him.
Somebody said it was Qui-Gon. I
No,
was like, what?
no, it was Palpatine, and it's one of the books,
I
so
read
it's
that
gonna be canon. Real quick, I know we're almost out of time. I want to bring up one more thing here. I have a sale going on. It's a little self promotion here. I do it all the time with my gate switchers, which are selling very, very well. But if we can
Explain what a gate switcher is, because some people don't know what that is.
I will.
I know what
but
it is.
I will say that we always try and get the prices down whenever we can, and we did it again. So the gate switcher lets you take your SanWar compatible joystick that you can switch electronically from 8-way mode to 4-way mode. So you're playing a game like Donkey Kong or Pac-Man. You want to be in 4-way mode. You press a button, the gates will lock in that. You play a fighting game on 8 mode, press a button, it goes back. And we will always try and drive the prices down, not screw you guys over and bring prices up on all of you. So the 4-way with the processor board was regularly $34. We got it down to $29.99, and the extra gate you could put up to 3 additional extra gates. Originally $20, we got it down to $12. So I just wanted to put that real quick. 4th of July, you guys want to get some gate switches put in your machine. I just wanted to put it out there real quick. And
If you're still not sure what it is that when you play Pac-Man with an 8-way bottom end, if you will, there's dead spots. So if you go diagonal and you're supposed to go up, the Pac-Man doesn't move.
Right.
But if you have a 4-way joystick, it'll move. So that's the difference, right?
Right.
So,
And Hobby Hansen made a good point here, too, that, Return of the Jedi broke canon when Leia says she remembers her mother when talking to Luke when she was born for a second. So Luke was there. They were both literally 1 second old. That's the only time they saw their mom. So maybe
I don't even remember. Man, if every kid remembered their mother when they were 1 second old, there'd be a lot of weird nightmares out there, with your mother's privates, that's all you would see, right? Just saying.
And Goofy Foot, yeah, it's I'll bring it up real quick. These are in stock at our website.
US dollars.
Which
somebody asked about US or Canadian prices. I think it's US dollars.
Oh, it's cut off a little bit. It's the Thunder 6 Thunder T-Sticks website. So if you go into any one of my my videos, we'll have the link there to T-Sticks. You can go over there. We got something here from Rutsky. Dear Glenn, please help John and Arcade make some good decisions. They need it. That's why I'm here. But we've been collaborating very well back and forth together. And I think that we're going to have some really good things coming out together with them.
I'm not saying this because I'm being paid or anything. Glenn's stuff is not junk. Simple as that. He sent me a couple of things and they're well built. It's not like you're getting cheap break-in a week later type stuff, which is good. So you're in good hands.
Can you believe it? We've burned through another hour already?
And my phone didn't die.
And your video feed didn't go down. So what does that say, Mr. Canada? Your video feed stayed the whole time.
Well, my Skype had to do an update because I ran it in admin mode and it did an update. So I think that was the problem. But if you don't run it admin mode, it doesn't do the update.
I still blame Canada and your camera.
Oh, there you go. Why not?
So listen, happy Canada
and Independence Day, right?
Yep. So have a safe 4th of July. A lot of fireworks. Don't blow any fingers off out there, people. Try and be safe.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink or drive. Definitely don't drink and launch fireworks either, because I can't imagine that being much better.
Well, that's the fun part,
I guess.
But again, watch Jackass at all?
People say that's me, but whatever. So again, to all my Canadian friends out there, and Stephen, happy Canada Day. This coming Monday. Happy
Independence Day, everybody.
Happy Independence Day. England, we still love you. You're still a friend of ours, but you had to go. You just had to go.
Yeah, you had to go. We have the Queen on posters on the post office, so we're good.
Right.
We're good.
So don't forget, it is Friday night, so the Super Game Room dudes is coming back. I believe P-Dubs is back. He couldn't take Michael B., the Game Genie, running the show anymore. So he came out of retirement to go back to the Super Game Room dudes. Happy 4th. Be safe. And remember, no matter what you do or how you do it, just remember to
game on.
Game on, everyone. Have some fun and enjoy the weekend, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Take care.
Tiny Arcade fan page. Remember, don't admire people too much. They'll disappoint you.
Sit, Blue Blue, sit.